I met this guy and we started dating. He was a nice boy but not financially stable like that. He lived with his mom and sister. Me, on the other hand, was financially stable and doing well majorly because of my parents. So when we started dating, I decided to be of help. His younger sister had passed WASSCE and couldn't go to uni because of fees. I decided to assist. She bought forms and started schooling at Legon. I linked her to be my friend sales and errand girl for her shop so she could as well get small coins for herself. My man told me of how their place always flooded when it rains, and I told him to look for a new place so we see what we can do. He looked for a place and it was a 2-bedroom house. Initially, the landlord wanted 3 years, but I pleaded with him and paid for 1.5 because I didn't have money for 3 at that time. I also tried connecting my guy to a friend who does export to show him so he could import his own stuff and add it to his 9 to 5. But anytime I raise the issue up, my friend tells me to wait, not knowing it was God. I was angry at my friend because I've seen him help so many boys, but why my man? I saw potential in him and I was ready to help him. He was always at my place eating my food, using my Wi-Fi and other stuff. I didn't find a problem with it. I decided to introduce him to my dad so my dad could employ him. Since my friend wasn't ready to help, maybe my dad will. Just as I was planning on how to introduce him to my dad, my friend who I had pitched my guy's sister to told me she had a conversation with me. She said she overheard my guy's sister having a conversation the last time and she suspects he and his family are using me. According to my friend, the girl was speaking other language. She didn't know my friend understood. My guy's sister was telling the other person on the phone that my guy was going to be home that weekend. My friend said the other person on the phone was a woman. When she was done, she called her brother and told him the other woman was coming that weekend, so he shouldn't spend the night at my place. My friend said the whole conversation looked like there was another woman, only I didn't know existed. After like 2 weeks, my friend sent me a contact. She said it was a contact of the other woman the girl was speaking to. She told me to let her use her phone for a call and stole it. She said she had monitored her calls with the woman. I was surprised and wanted to confront him, but my friend told me to act wisely. It made sense why that particular weekend he insisted on going home. My friend promised to help me, so she knew how my guy's sister had saved her name. She told me to call the lady and pretend I had a gift for her from the guy to deliver to her. She advised me to use a different number instead of mine. I was shaking, but I did. I didn't even speak to her. I allowed my male colleague at work to do the call. He called her and told her he had a gift from her boyfriend to her, but she should mention his name before she mentioned my guy's name. My guy's family knows her family and everyone in their village knows they did get married soon. So eventually, I was just a means for them to gain financial freedom. I made my friend send her 500 cedis as the gift. My colleague pretended he was a presenter from a radio station. He further asked her to narrate how they met. She joyfully spilled every tea I needed and how long they had been dating. Apparently, she lives in their hometown. I called my other friend to tell her everything, and my God, I broke down. I cried my eyes out. 2 years wasted. No wonder he was forcing me to process things for him to go outside. His sister was going to second year by then, and soon their rent would have expired. I finally had the strength. I had a strength and one day confronted all of them in their house. I told them to enjoy the rent while it lasted because after this expiration, they didn't have to continue from there. His sister had to also look for where to gather money to continue from 200 going, and she shouldn't dare step foot in my friends. They were finding it hard to believe until I mentioned the number of the other lady to them and her name. That was when they started confessing and shedding crocodile tears. I told them I had no problem with them. I told her she shouldn't dare step foot in my friend's shop again. I told the guy to also come pack his stuff from my house. Every form of communication with them was done. His mother told me boldly in my face that why did I bring them this far to disgrace them? This woman has started going for medical checkup, something she's never done before. She said she wanted to sell thrift clothes. I gave her 6,000 for bill from my own pocket. He called me last week pleading with me to at least help his sister finish school on loan loan basis because she's devastated and depressed since school had reopened and she can't go because of fees. He came to beg and beg. Honestly, I wanted to still help him secure a better job because the guy had potential. But anywhere I tried for him wasn't going through. Eventually, I had to let him go. I told him I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't. Hey, Charlie, you've tried. You see, this is how I want things to always end for people who think they are taking advantage of you. So you are not enough, or what's the mentality behind it? Like, you are the mugu that they will use. Like, can't he like you, Sam? Are you not also a human being? Are you not a woman? Why do you have to use her? Like, why can't you just be with her? You're using somebody they've caught, you still have the audacity to tell her that she should finish. Why did she bring you here? Why did she? Hey, from grass to grace to grass. Oh, people are wicked, sha.